In this video, I'll explain everything that you need to know or that you want to know about cheat days, or about refeeds, in order to lose weight or to bust through that weight loss plateau. But before moving on to the video, I have a really fun and exciting announcement, and that is that we need to celebrate that it is officially summer, or at least where I live. So therefore I decided to have a 15% discount on all my online personal coaching programs. It is applicable on both my training and nutrition and my nutrition only programs. You just have to use the code SUMMERSALE at checkout, and then we will be working together. You'll receive your personalized programs, we'll have weekly check-ins, and we will be working together on your fitness goals. And I'm super excited about it, so you can find all the information on my website, and I'll make sure to link it in the description box down below. Hey guys, it's Sophie from GAINSBYBRAINS, and welcome to today's video all about cheat days and refeeds. I'll first talk about the differences between a cheat day and a refeed. I'll talk about the different benefits and also how you can set them up yourself. I filmed my refeed day that I had a few days ago, so I'll make sure to talk you through it as well. And it includes some vegan Cinnabons, so definitely make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video if you're interested in that recipe. And trust me, you are interested in that recipe. A refeed is where you have a temporary increase in calories due to an increase in carbs. Your protein and fats either stay the same or your fats decrease a little bit. During a refeed, you are still tracking macros and you are still counting calories. The only difference is that you have a bit more calories to play around with, and also your ratio of macros is a bit differently. A cheat meal or a cheat day is where you consume a lot of food while still being in control mentally. So there are no feelings of guilt, there are no negative emotions, and you also don't track macros and you don't count your calories. Benefits that cheat days and refeeds have in common is that it gives you something to look forward to. I know personally when I have a cheat day or a refeed plan that I'm really good with sticking to my macros. Just because I know that in a few days I'm able to eat a lot more, or I'm able to eat something that I really crave without compromising any progress. Benefit number 2 is that it can really help you with staying on track with your diet long term. It is a physical reset, but it is just as much a mental reset. It is a small diet break, and that can really help you with being focused again and being able to push through. Benefit number 3 is that it can really help with being less food focused. Whenever you are in a caloric deficit for a longer period of time, you will notice that you will think about food very often. It is constantly on your mind, and having a cheat day or a refeed can really help, because the days after you'll notice that you'll be less focused on foods just because you had that little break for a while. You had a lot of nutrients, so that is something that can really help with making your diet a bit more sustainable and maintainable. The 2 benefits of a cheat day specifically that I noticed after I had my cheat day is that it can really help with your cravings. I didn't crave anything for a few days. I was really happy and satisfied with vegetables and lean protein sources. And what is also really nice is that I just didn't have to track macros. I didn't have to count calories. Even if it's just for one day, that was so refreshing. Benefits of a refeed day specifically is that it can really help with boosting your leptin levels. Leptin is a hormone that regulates your food intake and your appetite, and this decreases whenever you are in a caloric deficit and your body fat percentage decreases. Low levels of leptin can make it really difficult to feel satiated, so boosting your leptin levels with a refeed can really help with making your diet more maintainable, easier to stick to your diet, and thus it can really help with losing weight. So the refeed 101. When do you need to do a refeed? You don't need to do a refeed whenever you are either eating at maintenance level or when you are eating in a caloric surplus. It is only necessary to do whenever you are eating in a caloric deficit. In the other 2 situations, either eating at maintenance or eating at a caloric surplus, means that you're probably already getting enough calories in to feel satiated, and you already have a normalized level of your leptin hormone, so there is no need to boost them. How often do you need to have a refeed day? This depends on the individual, it depends on how much fat you have to lose. It also depends on your starting body weight and also how strict your caloric deficit is. However, there is a general rule of thumb, and that relates to the body fat percentage. For men under the 10% or for women under the 15% body fat, you'll need 3 to 4 refeeds a month. For men between 11 and 15% and for women between 16 and 20% body fat, you'll need 1 to 2 refeeds a month. And for men above 16 or for women above 21%, you'll need 1 refeed a month. But again, this depends on a variety of factors. And the reason why you have to do a refeed more than once is because after boosting your leptin levels, you'll get back to a caloric deficit again, and that means that your leptin levels will slowly fall again. So how to set up a refeed day? That depends mainly on your preferences, and it also depends on what really works for you. So that is something that you really have to find out. Some people prefer to eat at maintenance level calories, and some people prefer to eat a little bit above maintenance level calories. But the starting point is always knowing how much calories you need to consume on a daily basis. You can estimate your total daily energy expenditure in a number of ways. There are some formulas that calculate your basal metabolic rate or your BMR, and this is the number of calories that you burn at rest. Then you'll add an activity factor, and then you'll have your TDEE or your total daily energy expenditure. I'll show you 3 different formulas you can use to calculate your BMR or to get an estimate of your BMR, and this is the first one. And if you know your current body fat percentage, then you can also use this formula. Then you can also use the Harris-Benedict formula, but this formula tends to be skewed a bit towards both obese and young people. And then depending on your activity level, you can multiply your BMR by anything or anywhere between 1.2 and 1.9. And then for your refeed, you can either use your TDEE. I like to mark mine up with approximately 15%. And then you subtract the calories from protein. Your protein either stays the same or you lower them a little bit. And then you subtract the calories from fats, and you want to use a ratio of 10 to 20% for your refeed days. And then the remaining calories are left for your carbs. So what next? I like to use foods or to implement food items along the range of the glycemic index. This is an index that scales the carbohydrate foods depending on how they influence your blood sugar levels after consuming them. And I usually start with high glycemic index foods. So what I did for my refeed day is I made vegan Cinnabons the day before, just because I was really craving them for forever basically. And consuming high glycemic index foods, the Cinnabons, really helps with initiating the leptin response, and they were so good. And then as the day progresses, I move on to lower glycemic index foods and also to the more complex carbs. As my pre-workout meal, I had 100 grams of oats, which was so nice. And as you noticed, I don't practice intermittent fasting whenever I am doing my refeed, just because I have a lot of calories to eat, so I don't really feel the need to fast. Regarding training on your refeed day, there are benefits to both. There are benefits to not training on your refeed days, and there are benefits to training on your refeed days. It mainly comes down to your preference. Arguments against is that you want to raise all sorts of good hormones and you don't really want to stress the already tired body. You really want to give it the time to recover and to heal, and that is why you shouldn't train on a refeed day. Or you can use that extra energy to have a really nice workout. So it just mainly depends. I always like to train on my refeed days, and I also really like to train the legs on my refeed days just because I have a lot of energy. And that is exactly what I did. Post-workout I had some kale, I had some chickpeas and I had some sweet potato. And for my final meal of the day, I had some whole wheat wraps. I filled them with rice, I filled them with kidney beans and also with a vegan meat replacement thing that works really well actually with my body, so it doesn't make me bloated, which is very nice. And if you're interested in how my cheat day went, which is completely opposite from my refeed, it has a lot of sugar and it has a lot of fat. I'll make sure to link it in the description box down below so you can check it out if you're interested. In summary, both refeeds and cheat days can really help with busting through a weight loss plateau or with losing weight in general, just because they make sticking to a caloric deficit long term much easier. Refeeds are more strict compared to a cheat day, but they also have the benefit of boosting your leptin levels. That being said, I think cheat days are definitely more fun, but I rely more on refeeds just because it really helps me with getting towards my fitness goals. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to give it a like if you enjoyed this video, because that really helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because then you will never miss any of my future videos ever again. And then I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.